couple weeks ago, I had a massive shipment of a ton of gear to build up my own first ever cinema rig. And I didn't go lightly. I really went for it. As you can see, there's the microphone, the monitor, the matte box, the camera, and so on. V-mount battery plate, filters, some cages. Ultimately, I don't deserve this, but go big or go home, right? I'm a photographer originally, and I wanted to branch into videography. I actually got into photography so I could make my own short films and get to know how that might work. And it's about time I just dove in. Holy cannoli, that's a lot of equipment right there. Let's start with the camera. I chose the Sony FX3. I used the A7 II for photography, so I've got a lot of Sony full frame lenses that I can use with this camera. It has autofocus, it does 120 frames per second at 4K, has in-body stabilization. The only thing I was really worried about with the FX3 was the rolling shutter that some people on YouTube made me quite fearful about, but it doesn't seem to be a problem so far. I've used it for a bit and nothing that I have used it for has caused any issue there. No, there it is. A little bit of camera porn there. And there's the handle. A lot of people say that the hand grip on that handle is a bit too short. Okay, let's close this, and so satisfying. Look at that, it's like ASMR. If I weren't talking. Let's tidy off that countertop. It's really important, yeah. Warranty cards, yeah, also very important. USB, the most important, well, maybe the camera. Next is the cage from Smallrig. I got the FX3 half cage. It includes the handle extender for that short XLR handle, and also that left hand grip with a NATO rail. That will come into it in a short amount of time. This thing is, I think it's called the base plate with a 15mm rod. Yeah, rod. Yes, okay, this seems okay. This is a cheese plate. I spent so much money with Smallrig that they sent me a piece of metal with a bunch of holes in it, but I've actually put that to good use, to be honest. Yeah, nice and tidy. Yeah. What is this? This is the monitor mount. This thing's a piece of shit. Okay, let's tidy this all up, put it to the side, organize it. Yes. I swear I could have cut this a bit shorter. Yes, good job. One last piece. There we go. Okay, now that's done. I got I think it's a shotgun mic, condenser mic that goes into the XLR handle at the top of the camera. I needed audio. I couldn't rely on the on-camera audio in case I wanted to do interview content, who knows, or something in my short films. Finally, after, oh, look at that, it's like magic. It's all assembled. Next is the Shinobi 5-inch monitor. I didn't need any sort of recording functionality. I was happy with what the FX3 offered, but I did need a better view of what I was recording because the screen on the FX3 is very small and quite limited. And I wanted to make sure to cage it up because I didn't know how the mounting options would be, how compatible it would be with the Smallrig cage. And I'm really glad that I got this. I put this on upside down in this video, but movie magic will solve that. Okay, here's all my initial camera build stuff. Let's put it all together. Yeah, so I don't think the handle is too short, it's close, but I wanted to make sure to use that extra little bit of space, especially once we had the microphone and the monitor attached to that handle. It might have ended up being too small. Oh yeah, I put on this NATO rail on the side, but I fumbled around with it, and it was a big mistake because you can see this door that leads to the HDMI input. This handle got in the way, this rail got in the way, so much for that. So actually there was just a place on the cage that I could mount that handle. I just missed it entirely. I didn't realize it was NATO all around it. Next is the Mirage matte box. There it is with the carrying case. It also has a focus motor for their nucleus product, which I don't have. The rod mount, the matte box itself, the step-up rings, and there's the filter and filter case, which I didn't realize it came with. It's pretty cool. There's actually a filter tray, which I didn't know it came with as well. So I bought a dual filter tray as well, not realizing that it came with. There's the variable neutral density filter. Also, there's the microphone and the way that you mount the microphone to the handle. And there's a cable that came with it. Cable management wasn't ideal there. With the rails mounted, I realized that I was pretty much at the end of the capacity for those 20 centimeter rails with my 90 millimeter macro, which is actually shorter than the 35 to 150 millimeter Tamron that I have on the way. I got the Lexar CF Express cards that let me use every possible recording mode in the FX3. Oh yeah, pretty satisfying. There it is, all turned on and everything. I didn't realize that the Shinobi didn't come with a battery, so I had to plug it directly into the wall. I've also put on the V-mount battery plate onto the back there on this articulating arm so that I can still use the built-in display for settings on the FX3. There it is, all rigged up, all ready to go. There's all the leftover parts. A couple problems that I had. Was worried that this HDMI cable was going to get caught on something. I didn't like the cable management of the XLR cable. This thing rattled and made a bunch of noise. I put the variable neutral density filter on the wrong side, actually. This lens actually isn't as long as the lens that I have on the way, but it's already maxing out the capability of those 20 centimeter rods, so I needed the 30. So, I've made a few revisions. Let me go through some of those. So I put on those 30 centimeter rods, which gives more space for when I finally get that lens that's on the way. I also added a battery to the back of the monitor instead of plugging it directly into the wall, which was a relatively cheap addition while I wait for that V-mount battery. The V-mount battery plate is on back upside down. That's just me being an idiot. I also got a different XLR cable here, which makes it a lot tidier. And the entire rig is sitting on that cheese plate that Smallrig sent me. So, sweet deal. So thanks for watching this rig build. Let me know what I should have done differently in the comments. Thanks.